This courtroom moment starts with what looks like a simple probation hearing, but within seconds it becomes something much deeper. A young man walks into court hoping for early termination of probation, and Judge Boyd immediately begins testing more than just paperwork. He's testing honesty, discipline, and whether this transformation is actually real. Notice how fast the judge picks up on the smallest detail: the chewing gum. That may sound minor, but in a courtroom, behavior matters. Respect matters. First impressions matter. And Judge Boyd is the kind of judge who watches everything. But here's where this case takes an unexpected turn. The court isn't just reviewing technical compliance. They're checking drug tests, examining social media activity, reviewing years of probation records, and trying to answer one critical question. Has this man truly changed, or is he just saying the right things to get out early? That's what makes this hearing so compelling. It's not about one mistake anymore. It's about redemption, accountability, and whether society should reward genuine rehabilitation. And pay close attention to how the judge handles this. He doesn't immediately say yes. He slows the process down. He wants evidence. He wants proof. That's a huge lesson about the justice system that many people miss. Probation isn't just avoiding trouble. It's about rebuilding trust over time. The court wants to see consistency, maturity, and personal growth. And in this case, the defendant claims he completely turned his life around, from jail and bad decisions to college graduation, stable employment, faith, and a career in the automotive industry. But the big question is this: do you believe him yet? Because by the end of this hearing, Judge Boyd is going to make a decision that could permanently change this man's future. And honestly, the emotion in this courtroom catches everyone off guard.
Judge,
Hi, you're chewing like a cow in the field. Why are you chewing gum up here?
I'm sorry. Give me a spit out.
Like I'm chewing it loud.
Here you go.
That's okay. Nobody, nobody knows unless somebody tells them.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me see here.
Judge, may I?
Mhm.
There was a status report for early dismissal and discharge
Mhm.
submitted back in November.
Mhm.
At that time, Mr. Smith had not been on probation for 5 years yet.
Mhm.
And so you said to reapply at the 5-year term.
Mhm.
88 Garahan also opposed the application at that time. He opposed it again.
Mhm.
After speaking with him, he indicates he's opposing it
Based
because
upon
of the,
offense.
yes, based on the offense. So we did resubmit last month,
Mhm.
and it was denied again. But I spoke with you, Judge,
Mhm.
and kind of gave you the background on Mr. Smith, and you said to bring him in, and you would like to speak with him.
All right, when you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'll pass.
All right, so I want a UA today. He can go to felony drug court, see if they can give him a UA today. And then before we leave here, State,
Yes. This is not in here, but he's the one that I've been talking to.
before he leaves here today, because there are Facebook posts that were in the stipulations. What does your Facebook look like now?
I don't post anything on Facebook now.
All right, let
This
them
is
see if
actually
you have
one
no
of the
objection.
smartest
Let them
parts
see
of the
your
hearing,
Facebook
because
page and
Judge
let's see
Boyd
what's
is
in it
doing
and the last time
something
you
many
posted.
viewers won't
All right,
immediately
so we're gonna do
notice.
that, do a
He's
UA, and
verifying
then if
character
all
beyond
comes
the
back
official
clear,
court
you're gonna
file.
tell me your
The
story
drug
about how
test
you
matters, of
changed, and I'll
course,
make a
but
decision
checking
on
the
termination.
Facebook account is incredibly revealing. Why? Because social media often tells the truth people try to hide in court. A person can say they've changed, but their online behavior may show partying, violence, reckless conduct, or the exact same mindset that got them into trouble in the first place. And notice how calm and confident Mr. Smith appears when the judge brings it up. No panic, no excuses, no resistance. That reaction alone says a lot. The court is essentially stress testing his rehabilitation in real time. This hearing shifts from did he complete probation to can he truly function responsibly without supervision? That's a completely different standard. Also, pay attention to Judge Boyd's tone here. He's tough, but he's giving this defendant an opportunity to earn trust. That's a major theme in successful probation cases. Courts are often willing to support people who show authentic long-term change, but they absolutely do not reward performative behavior. And now the stage is set for the most important moment of the hearing. Mr. Smith explaining in his own words how he rebuilt his life after nearly losing everything.
On terminating you early.
Yes, yes,
And
ma'am.
thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all right. Okay, all righty. All right, so I see your smile. So everything went well?
Yes, Judge, Mr. Smith's UA was negative.
Hmm.
ADA Garahan went through his Facebook, no concerns.
Okay. So tell me about yourself. What have you been doing? What are your plans?
Actually, I have a letter. Can I read it?
Mm-hmm.
Dear Honorable Judge
All
Boyd.
right, everyone, please whisper.
Dear Honorable Judge Boyd, thank you for the opportunity to be on probation instead of time in prison. Over the course of being on probation for the last 5 years, I have learned to better my life and build a career for myself in the automotive industry. Through probation, I have learned self-control, discipline, and patience. I took things for granted and I made bad mistakes that hurt people. And I ask for your forgiveness and the forgiveness of those people. My time in the Bexar County Jail changed my life. The Lord saved me from death by putting me in the jail. That is what I believe. Through jail, I became connected with Cornerstone Church, which was the stepping stone into my faith today. The Lord motivated me to better my life. I went back to school and graduated from St. Philip's College with an associate degree of applied science in automotive technology in May of 2024. Since the beginning of school, I have worked at multiple automotive shops to gain experience and certifications. I currently work at Freedom Chevrolet, and I've been there since January of 2024. I have learned to live on my own, pay rent and utilities. I plan to go further with a relationship with God and Jesus. I have goals and dreams set for my life. I want to use my gift of working on cars to help people who need it. And I ask you humbly consider my request for early termination so that I may move past this part of my life and show my family that I have successfully changed and completed my term of probation. Thank you, Honorable Judge Boyd, for your time and listening to me. I give God all the glory for the change in my life, and I give Jesus all the credit for being where I am today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm
That
so
letter may have just changed the entire energy of the courtroom. And what makes it powerful isn't dramatic language. It's the detail. He didn't just say, "I'm a better person now." He explained how he changed. He talked about education, employment, financial responsibility, discipline, faith, and long-term goals. Those are the kinds of specifics judges look for because real rehabilitation usually leaves evidence behind. And here's another important detail. Judge Boyd immediately says something incredibly revealing. "You have to show me something." That sentence explains the entire philosophy behind probation. The court doesn't simply reward people for staying out of trouble. The expectation is growth, positive action, structure, responsibility. The judge wants proof that this defendant won't return to court in 6 months facing another charge. What also stands out here is how the courtroom staff backs up the story with actual records. No criminal history, full-time employment, community service completed, financial obligations paid, negative drug tests, successful home visits, and completion of an associate degree. That's not emotion, that's documented progress. And honestly, moments like this are rare because courts see so many repeat offenders. When someone truly breaks the cycle, judges notice it immediately. So now the hearing becomes emotional for a different reason. Everyone in that courtroom understands this isn't just about ending probation anymore. It's about whether a man who once faced prison has genuinely earned a second chapter in life.
Much. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad you were able to turn your life around. And what I can tell you is normally, I mean, I'll do early termination, but you have to show me something. You have to show me that you've changed and that you won't be back here
Yes.
for anything and that you're going to be a law-abiding citizen.
Yes, Judge.
All right, probation, what has he completed?
Um, Judge, I, I like to point out that he had no prior criminal history. He has maintained full-time employment as well as completing with his associate's degree. His field visits were completed. There were no issues during those field visits. There was a 11 p.m. curfew implemented upon being granted probation. He completed that with no issues. 200 community service hours were also completed. He's met all of his financial obligations, all of his UAs, with the exception of a couple of diluteds back in 2022. But all of his UAs have been negative, Judge.
And he was negative today.
He was negative today, Judge. We just think at this time, he is a good candidate for early termination.
All right. And there's no restitution, correct?
No, Judge.
All right. Well, congratulations. Here's the thing, don't go out celebrating the everything that you needed, the discipline you needed to successfully complete this probation. You're still going to need that discipline in real life because let me just tell you, you're not going to have a probation officer looking over your shoulder where you're saying, oh, if I do this, I'm going to get in trouble with probation. You're going to have to do that on your own. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
But what I can tell you, if there are any obstacles that come up in your way and you need some advice, if I'm here, you can still come back here and ask me, okay?
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, your probation is terminated. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. I appreciate it. And I want to say one thing, if I
Sure.
can, before I go. When I first was here, I don't know if you remember, it was in 2020. I sat in those seats over there, and it feels good today having my freedom and not having to go back to the Bear County jail or back to prison or in prison. And I thank you for giving me that chance of being out to see my family, to show my family that I can change. And when I was here, I told you at that time that I gave my life to God. And you had told me at that time, when I first got probation, that a lot of people, when they get out of the jail, they say they believe in God and they follow religion, but then they go right back. I wanted to prove everyone that thought that wrong. And I wanted to prove the people that thought I was going to go back to jail wrong. And so thank you.
All right, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Do well.
What makes this case memorable is that it perfectly shows both sides of accountability and redemption. Judge Boyd never ignored the seriousness of the original offense, and he didn't hand out early termination automatically. He tested the defendant repeatedly through probation compliance, drug testing, social media review, employment history, education records, and personal responsibility. Only after seeing years of consistent effort did the court finally decide that Mr. Smith had earned early termination. And honestly, the final statements from Mr. Smith may have been the most emotional part of the entire hearing. You can hear someone reflecting on how close they came to losing everything: freedom, family, future opportunities, and how badly they wanted to prove people wrong. Instead of becoming another repeat offender, he used probation as a turning point. That's exactly what rehabilitation is supposed to look like when the system works correctly. Judge Boyd also leaves him with one final warning that applies far beyond this courtroom. Discipline doesn't end when supervision ends. Real change only matters if it continues after the case is closed. And that lesson is probably the biggest takeaway from this hearing. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think Mr. Smith truly earned early termination? Or do you believe probation terms should always be completed in full, no matter what? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this case as powerful and emotional as we did, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more unbelievable courtroom breakdowns and real-life legal drama every week.